Hey patrons, this is Johannes from Noisepod, and I'm back with something a little bit special. I have created an ABX listening app, a desktop app for Windows and for Mac. And it's free, but you have to follow me on Patreon to use it. If you don't follow me there, then you can't use the software. So that's just the way it is. It's like a free subscription. It's a subscription, but it's free. If you pay me and think it's worth something, that's lovely as well. I really like you to do that because that pays a part of my bills. Anyway, let's go to the app, and it looks like this. The reason why I created this, it started with a joke because I was talking to a client of mine and I have helped him. I've done a lot of masters for him in the past, and even when I have got work from him, I have been a bit annoyed over how he compares mixes and masters, or how it seems that he does in a way. It seems like he is listening in a way that he doesn't take away the bias that you have for loudness, for example. That's the easiest part, to just normalize before you compare something. Normalize it to the same LUFS, or set it to the same about loudness level manually before you compare. That's step one, and I think it does that. But then you still know, if you put two files in a DAW like this, different channels, and you switch between those and listening, you're still biased because you know which one is which one. You just know. To be able to compare, you need an app like this. So it started off as a joke. I called it Per because that's his name, the client's name. And then I kind of, realized that this is a really cool thing. I want to use this. So today I'm going to show you how you use this. And we're going to start with a lot of different masters and a mix of the same track. So we are using a file from my friend Daniel today, and I have created some ozone master, AI master, and I did a quick master, and then took some other test files that I have of the same track, and all in all, I think it's 6 different files. Yeah, 6 files, and they are now loaded, and they are randomized and anonymized, so I don't know which file it's which. So here in this field up here, you can place your player so you don't have to listen to the whole song if you don't want to. You can also set a loop, and if you want to control the loop, you do that on the lower side of the waveform. Then you can move this. If you're on the upper side, then you place your play icon. So for this test, we're gonna put this on a loop here, like for this area, for example. And now I'm gonna do my ABX test. So, but it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X test, something. Up here, you decide which LUFS should the file be normalized to. So the -14 is the default. You can change that to not whatever you want, but you can change it from, I think it's -26 to -8 or something that I let you choose. This number is the amount of trials. 3 is really, it's not enough. You should have this at about 16, but I put it on 3 on default because I know that sometimes if you have several files, 16 trials is really hard. So I put it on 3, but it's not a recommendation. It's just for convenience, really. We have some settings as well. You can choose to use the same sample rate for everything. So then when you normalize the files, they will be converted to this, but you can keep them at the original. You can even have one file at 96 and one on 88 and one on 48, and they will play along. So you don't have to change the format, really, if you don't want to. And you have to put your Patreon email in this field to activate the software. Here's a thing you can choose. If you have used 2pass for finding the LUFS value, that is way more precise, but you can skip that if you're in a hurry, if you want to. So it's just a little bit, we're gonna use dither as well. Why does it say to 16-bit and that wasn't supposed to be there? Yeah, okay, whatever, I'm gonna change that later. Alright, so here we go. Now I just play listen and I'm gonna choose which version I like the most here. Oh, I hit the wrong button. When you have concluded one listening round, you have set the score on all the versions, then the music stops and there's a new randomization of the order of the tracks. So now we have to start again, and now I need to do this 3 times when this is set to 3. So here we go. Alright, that concluded it. I rated it like this. I wasn't too concentrated when I did this in this video, so I'm not sure about these results. But anyway, here you get the name of the file and the order you put them in. And this is funny. This AI master always end up lost, and that's funny. But Ozone does okay, actually. So in this case, I usually pick this my own version at the top position, which isn't that weird because I made it. I mean, I did it so my ears liked it, so it's not weird. I don't know if others would choose that, but I have pretty much picked that every time. But Ozone is always on second or third, so that's interesting. And this Ash thing was just something that I tried the new acoustic audio plugin quickly, and so that's why that's in there. Now you can export these results if you want to keep them, and that is a text field, but you can also save the project, and if you save it, it will save the audio files as well, so it's a pretty large file. But the idea is that you can send that to a client or a bandmate, or so that several people can do the same comparison. So if I save this, it will open up. Let's do that actually. Let's save it over this. Yes, it takes a while because it needs to compress all the WAV files. So it says saving. Now it's done. And if I load this, now maybe, yeah, there we go. It's open up in exactly the same state. So if you make sure that you save it in a state so that the the person who opened it can start at a 0 position. I didn't do that. I saved it with the result here. So that's pretty much it. And I think it's a really cool software for comparing masters and mixes. And it's really funny that I started it as a joke to just mock my client and friend, and ended up with something that I'm actually going to use myself. Maybe not daily, but if I often in a position where I have created maybe 2 masters for a client, and I like both. One perhaps has more high end, the other one has more low end. And depending on which day or which mood I am when I'm listening, I prefer one or the other. And a test like this can be really cool to do. I'm thinking of if I should try to make the same test here and try to concentrate to see what results I get if I'm doing if I'm concentrating. So if you want to see me do that, stick around. Otherwise, I see you with the next thing I come up with. And let's see. Here's a little bit of an issue because I saved it in a state where I don't have to. Let's do it like this. Redo test. There we go. All right. Now it's a clean slate and we're going to start again. I'm making it a little bit easy, not listening to the whole track. I'm listening to the most intense part of the track. Put it in loop mode, and I hit listen. Yeah, one thing, the sync button. That's I put that there because when you load, if you made 2 masters and say that one of them has gone through a pitch and catch system, then the front of the track isn't always exactly the same amount of milliseconds as the others. So the sync button will scan the silence in front of the music and sync all the files so that they start exactly at the same point. It's not sure that if you have a little click or anything that may not work, but in my tests it has worked fairly well. So you get the audio synced, which means that when you crossfade between the different tracks versions by hitting listen on the different tracks, then you don't notice that no jump in time when you do that. So here we go. Let's start again. we go. This was interesting. I never picked the mix as second before. That is interesting. If you could see, when you watched me doing this, could you see that it depending on which track started around, I preferred different versions. You can even hear that. So it's not that I don't hear that I'm picking another one as number one in a trial. I'm aware that I do that. It's just that depending on which one I listen to first for every trial, it's like I reset my ears and now it's a blank slate and I start. If I start with one that has a lot of high end, I tend to punish mixes with less high end in that round. And if I pick one with a lot of low end, I tend to, I react in different ways. And that is so interesting when you run a software like this. When you actually don't know which version you listen to, you can guess. Sometimes you know because you know that one of them has a lot of high end and the other ones doesn't, and then it's not that easy. Oh, sorry, then it's easy to know. But sometimes the differences are really small. And then it's harder because you tend to focus on different things. If you listen to a track with a lot of low end as the first track, maybe you start to listen to the kick and the other ones, and you don't mind the hi-hats anymore. So you focus on the kick, and that gives an other result than if you try to listen to the mix as a whole, which is really hard to do. Because if you work with a music for a while, then you probably already are focused on the details. So I recommend running a lot of tests. Put it on 16 to 20 rounds. And I know that takes time, but you will thank me later. You will start to make the correct decisions. This software named Per is a desktop app for Mac and Windows, and it's free, but you have to follow me on Patreon to use it. And this was also a lot of things. It started as a joke. Then I realized this is really useful software. Then I used the software to try some new integration stuff with Patreon that I haven't used in this way before. So I did a lot of things with this software. I think you're gonna love it. I love it already, and I use it all the time. And I see you with the next software or thing that I come up with. See you later. Bye bye.